Boy, that sun beaming. What up, y'all? That sun beaming out here, man. I hope can y'all see me. I can see myself. I'm glowing. I get to the gas station. Y'all know. But enough. Enough is enough. So we're gonna talk about how your mistakes or your reality or the things you believe in is costing you money. Let that sink in. The mistakes you make or the things that you like or just that your ignorance in general is causing you time, money, success, love, you name it. And it's you that's doing this. It's your experiences in life. It's your experiences in life that's causing this. And then we're also going to talk about how having one perception about life is dangerous. And that might intertwine in the fact that your ignorance is costing you time, money, and love and all that. It is ignorant for me to say that I'm going to have only one perception about life. I'm ignorant. You have duality and reality and dualism, and you have different concepts. Some make sense, some don't. Some you could take away from it, some you can't. That's tough. So there you go. And for you to sit here and say that the way I've been taught growing up is the right way and everybody else's way is wrong, is very ignorant. It's very self-deceiving, and you're kidding yourself. You're kidding yourself. You're kidding yourself in a sense that those lower thoughts that you don't hear because your reality is too loud to hear it because you're listening to music every day. You're distracted so much that you don't hear the lower tones of understanding in your mind. You're not listening to yourself. You're not being intuitive. So you don't know what's going on in your mind because you're not listening. Your mind will tell you. Well, I wouldn't even say it's your mind. It's really your soul. Your soul working through the mind will tell you if something is right or wrong through your intuition, into your intuitive factor. And a lot of us, our intuitive factor is pretty much gone. That means you've closed your heart. And a lot of your heart closing came from your parents. It wasn't even from the heartbreaks that you've gone through in your life. A lot of your heartbreaking moments were from your parents. They broke your heart at first before you start getting into relationships and stuff. They taught you bad habits. They taught you miscommunication errors. They taught you to have the perception that you have right now. They taught you to be the person you are now, alongside with the environment, alongside with, DNA and other aspects of life. So you're going around life a mutated DNA version of your mom and dad, and you got their perceptions. And then, with that being said, a lot of your mishaps in life come from your perception that you got from your mom, your dad, and your environment. There's a guy on YouTube. I forgot his name, Dan Pelvey or something. I forgot what it is. And it's old talk, but it makes so much sense. He says, "Show me your friends, and I'll show you your future." He says, "Love does not work. Friendship doesn't work. Respect works." Now he's a really arrogant guy, but I see where he's coming from. I I don't totally agree with everything he's saying, but I'm open minded to any idea and attached to no idea, so I can see what angle he's coming from. You got people out here, and you might be one of them yourself, that just so stubborn that you only see life in one perception. one logic, one way of thinking. And that's dangerous because that puts you in a realm or a bubble of no return. Think about the stubborn people you got in your life. And I have a lot of stubborn people in my life that they won't let go of their concepts if they were paid to. They think their way is the way. Think about all the things that they do, all of their failures, all of their mishaps. All of them things are stubbornly, that son beaming, boy. All of those things are stubbornly stuck in their subconscious mind and they don't want to move it around. They don't want to defragmentate that disc called the brain. They don't want to do nothing. And if you try to come in their life and try to give them a different perspective, they'll boot you out. And you'll be thinking it's you. Now, let's say this for the sake of time, because I can ramble on this for an hour. When it comes to paradigms, like I said, a paradigm is a multitude of habits that are fixed in you and locked into your subconscious mind. When it comes to paradigms and it comes to you having a stubborn paradigm, meaning that you want to keep all of your paradigms for whatever purposes that you have, and you want to keep these paradigms, that means you keeping the good, the bad, and the ugly. And that's what brought me to this video today. This video is how your ignorance is costing you time, money, love, respect, all of that. Because there are plenty, and you know it. You've been around them. You have people in your family. Hell, you might be one of those stubborn bull people that just don't want to see life in no other perception than the one you're living in now. And the one that you're living in now is so hellish that you're just killing yourself. You know that some of the concepts in your mind are bullshit, but you keeping on to it because you're stubborn, because you have a stubborn paradigm. Yeah, I know people like that. That's why I claim, just like Earl Nightingale claimed, just like Bob Proctor claimed, 2% of the world thinks, 3% of the world thinks they're thinking, and the other 95% would rather die than think. Are you really thinking if you know that the paradigm you in ain't no good for you, but you got a stubborn paradigm that won't allow you to get out of the rest of the paradigms? Is that a thinking person to you? If you know your problems, but you ain't trying to fix them, and you give all the excuses in the world to keep them, even though they're self-sabotaging, is that a thinking person? Is it a thinking person when somebody comes around with the answer and the solution, but you shun them and kick them out of your life? Or were you really thinking? No, you're not. Our brain is the puppeteer, the puppet master. When it comes to this, your brain will trick you into thinking that you're thinking. When it comes to paradigms, you have a whole big giant category of list of words, list of responses, list of emotions that just pop out and seep into your conscious mind repulsively with triggers. The reason for a paradigm is to help you to survive. But in this point in time in this world, your paradigm is helping you to die. Think about that. A thought can kill you. You don't believe me? You don't have to believe me. Look around. I hate to use this because I love this guy, but Michael Jackson, for some reason, he said his father used to pick on him and say his nose was big and this and that and the third. So those thoughts stayed with him that long, and them thoughts became that strong that he decided that he's going to fix his nose up another way, fix the structure of his skin. I mean, his facial structure. And I really believe he had vitiligo because he had lupus. And if you know anything about lupus, there's a 60% chance if a person or a patient has lupus, that the side effects would be skin pigmentation. If you don't understand that, go talk to a lupus patient. Most lupus patients have skin pigmentation problems. So I believe that. But the argument is his father, as a child, put an XY idea in his conscious mind and planted it there, and he became an emotionally involved with the XY idea of his, his nose being too big or he being ugly or whatever the case is. That his father probably said that over and over and over again. His brothers probably said it over and over and over again to a point where the X idea became a Y idea, and the Y idea sunk deeply into his subconscious with the emotion attached to it. Once it gets in your subconscious mind, because everything that goes in your subconscious mind needs an emotion attached to it so it can stay, then that's when you develop the paradigm. Michael Jackson developed a paradigm of fixing on himself, making his nose better, and all this, and he had thousands of excuses to do it, but the main reason was no self-confidence. He's a good-looking dude, no homo, good-looking dude, but his dad's words were stronger than the public's words. And the public would always say he was a fine young gentleman. He could not listen to the public because his dad's words and his paradigm stuck so deep into his subconscious mind that by the time he turned 25, it went downhill from there until he was about 50 and died. This is how strong the mind is. This is why ignorance will kill you. This is why thought can kill you. There was a point in time around 1997, this dude looked like a whole white woman. What happened to the Thriller Mike? Hell, what happened to the off the wall Mike? He destroyed his whole face over his dad's paradigm that was put on him. Now the question is, this is off topic. The question is it Michael Jackson's fault or is it his dad's fault? Some of y'all gonna say it's his dad's fault. I'll give him some fault in it. You shouldn't have done that to your child. But I'm gonna give Michael Jackson at least 70% fault. You didn't have to listen to your dad. You could have accepted or rejected them ideas. You could have looked in the mirror and really seen a good looking black male. But Michael Jackson's self image was messed up. And I've had a video, I've explained on the video before, and I might just make a whole video on it. Your self image came from your parents. Your parents developed your self image in your first 12 years. So, however you feel about yourself, we could connect that to how your parents feel about you and people around you because you so into your family so much that you try to make them feel better by doing stuff that they want you to do. And then when you get disappointed, a lot of people that have been have their parents disappointed in them, it shows in their life. It shows in their face. We're gonna do a whole video on that because that is deep. Actually, there's a book I just bought called Psycho Cybernetics. I haven't read it yet, but what I'm hearing from it, it breaks it down. You don't see with your eyes. No, no, no. You see with your mind. Michael Jackson was seeing with his mind. He wasn't seeing with his eyes. His mind was a self-image of his father saying that he was ugly, even though his eyes were seeing a nice-looking black gentleman in the mirror. You see with your mind. So since you see with your mind, you got to make sure your mind is sharp. Boy, this sun beaming out here. Yeah. Another example of how your ignorance costs you time and money. Black women. I'm sorry. I love my black women. I do. I came from a black woman. But this weave and hair and nails and all of this is unnecessary. It's ignorant to me. My perception. You can't get mad at my how I perceive life. If you get mad at how I perceive life, then to me, you're telling me that either I'm right what I'm saying or you are a control freak. You're narcotic. Either or. I don't get mad at people's perceptions. If they wrong, dead wrong, that's their life. That's how they feel. I understand perception now. I'm open-minded to everything attached to no thing when it comes to perceptions. That's that in that case, I don't need to get into an argument with somebody over an idea. Whatever way you perceived it is the way you perceived it, buddy. I don't perceive it that way, but hey, it is what it is. We can walk away without pulling pistols and shooting each other. So black women, what y'all have to understand with the hair and the nails and all that, first of all, that shit is expensive as hell. And ain't no way I'm marrying some female and we run into the beauty supply store every week or every other day. That's a waste of money. Unless we finna go open up one. That's cool. We go open up one. Cool. Let's do it. But your average black female is programmed to run to that beauty supply. And the crazy thing about it, who's running the beauty supply? Somebody that don't look like you. So you don't have enough awareness in you to realize that you've been played by another race of people. I'm not trying to make this a race thing because the Koreans, they know what they're doing and they got to eat too. So I can't get mad at them or nothing. But the way y'all praise that the weave that you put in your hair and all the stuff that you do, they over here they go over here going crazy on this street, man. I'm just trying to cut over. Hey, but yeah, the way y'all glue on to that concept of, oh, I gotta get this my hair done, my hair nappy, my hair is it. What's wrong with your hair? First of all, who gave you the idea that something is wrong with your hair? Who gave you the idea that it's nappy? Who gave you that idea? Y'all are the only we black women are the only people that spend that much money at the beauty supply. Y'all spend billions a year at the beauty supply. Why? I'll tell you why. Deep down inside, you hate yourself. Accept it or reject it. Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me. But if I don't like myself, if I don't like my hair, if I don't like my nails, if I'm trying to impress everybody, I'm gonna do I'm gonna put on fake nails. I'm gonna put on fake hair. I'm gonna try to do whatever I can so when I look in the mirror, I can be beautiful. But with my regular hair, my regular face without the makeup, I'm beautiful because I say I'm beautiful, not because society said that I'm not beautiful. You guys are playing on the ignorance of society. Black women, you're beautiful without all that makeup. You're beautiful without all the damn weave and all that. Matter of fact, when you start putting that stuff on, you look like a clown to me. And me, I cannot take a black woman seriously if she's running to the beauty supply putting that shit on. Simple as that. That's when you got to ask yourself, half of my income. Let's say you make 6,000 a month. I'm just saying something. You make 6,000 a month, and 2,000 of it is spent at the beauty supply. You're a consumer. Consumers don't get nowhere. We're trying to build empires here, especially us black men, the ones that are really into their shit, like me, real men, alpha men, men that don't put up with that. We're trying to build empires. What makes you think I'm just gonna go grab the average Joe black girl off the street and give her my credit card and let her swipe away on unnecessary stuff? What is putting weave in your hair gonna do for us? That's an inner problem for you. I'm somewhat of a therapist. I can't get with no girl that got them type of problem. Matter of fact, whoever whoever's around me, they got to be thorough. They got to be thorough. I can't allow that. That's man. I'm somewhat of a therapist. So if I see that you need therapy and you ain't gonna listen to me, look, I don't know how some of you black men do it. It ain't if it's the thing between the legs that got y'all doing what y'all doing. Y'all gotta y'all gotta overlook your man. There's too many beta males. Let's just keep it that way, cause I ain't for that. We could go into another reality on that. Know what? All I'm gonna say is this, black woman. Start to fall in love with yourself. Fall in love with your hair. Fall in love with you, the authentic you, without all the makeup and all that on. It'll save you so much money if you fall in love with yourself. And that's really what the essence of this video is. If you fall in love with yourself, if you start to stop ignoring the things that are costing you money and time, you'll get somewhere in life. You'll actually get somewhere. You're holding yourself back. You're self-deceiving yourself. Every time you run in that beauty supply and put that makeup on, it's kind of like how Michael Jackson was putting on makeup on and all that. He wanted to look a certain way because his inner self didn't like the way he looked. I know some girls that can't come outside barefaced. Ooh, I can't come out like. What is going on inside? Whatever the fuck that is, I don't even like cursing on her. Whatever that is in there, you got to delete that. That is a big problem. And I'm sorry, can't nobody can get around me with that type of problem. Either either I'm talking about me being in a relationship with somebody with that kind of inner problem. It's not gonna work. I already know me. I'm too enlightened. I'm too on a higher scale for that. It won't work. Especially after all the bullshit I've been through in my life. Oh no. Goodbye. See you later. You out the door. Somebody else could deal with you. I expect the best version of you. Because you're gonna expect the best version of me. And if you don't, I don't know why be in a relationship. I love myself to death. I could kiss myself in the mirror. I have no problem. And that's probably why I started getting on YouTube anyway. I've thought about getting on YouTube for the longest and I couldn't get on there in the past. And I know why now. I didn't love myself. I didn't want to see myself. I didn't think people believed in me. When I start believing in myself, when I start loving myself, it's easy for me to get on here and do what I do. If you don't like me, click off the video. Like, save yourself the headache. Click off the video. This might not be for everybody. I might offend people. I'm not trying to, because if I'm offending you, that means your ego is self-deceiving you and doesn't want you to change. It wants you to stay exactly the way you are right now. And you know honestly the way you are right now ain't no good, then why the hell are you getting upset? It's the paradigm. The paradigm doesn't like change. Okay. So, and here's another thing. And I'm just gonna go over it briefly. We don't have to go into the ballistics of this. If you do not understand a system of thinking, whether that be a religion, a philosophy, or whatever, if you don't understand it, at least 75% understand it, then you are not qualified to even criticize about it. If I never study something, I don't talk about it. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I've studied Christianity, multiple forms of it, Mormonism, all that. I studied Hebrew Israelites for 3 years. I was a Hebrew Israelite. Nation of Islam, I studied that for a year. Five percenter, Kemet, spirituality, Afrocentric. I studied all three forms of atheism. Hell, I even studied Satanism. I didn't study it to a sense where I became a Satan. No, I studied to see why did people. I wanted to know why did people go to it. and what locked them into that paradigm. So I studied at least 75 to 100% of the Taoism. I studied Taoism, Buddhism, all of the East Indian, the Eastern, most of the Eastern religions I studied. And you know what? I found out from studying all that, I could take little bits and pieces from all of them. Not Satanism. I mean, I don't. I might be ignorant to it because I'm looking at it from a Christian perspective. So I don't know, but who cares? Anyways, I take bits and pieces from all of them, and I've used them to make my life better. And that goes back to perception. Perception is a powerful tool. And if you're a stubborn person, like I was saying in the beginning, if you're stubborn, you you're looking at life on a one track, and you're never gonna get nowhere. You're gonna stay exactly where you at with the same results. And I don't like ignorant people that don't study nothing, but they can criticize everything. That's the complete opposite of what I am. I'm open minded to every idea, attached to no idea. Some of y'all are not open to nothing and attached to one thing, and that's the paradigms that you have in your head that are not even working for you, and you know it. If you sat down in the room with me or a therapist or anyone, they will get you to the realization that you don't even like yourself, but you don't want to say that. You'll say it internally inside, and your whatever you feel inside is going to project outside. That's why I never, like, I don't have to get to know you. I don't need to know you. I need to know, all I need to know is your patterns. All I need to know is what you do on a daily basis. Every little idiosyncrasy, how you bite on your hand, how when we talk you look to the left or look to the right or you look down, your tonality, your voice, all of that plays a role. If I see a pattern, that's all I need to know. Because you'll sit here and tell me, oh, I'm a vegan, I don't drink soda, and then 5 days from now I catch your ass with a soda or with a meat sandwich. So you can talk all day, your actions speak louder than your words. And when I get around a person, I immediately start assessing them and seeing if they're gonna stay in my life for long enough. If they do, I still assess them because I've let too many people in my life over the years that were no good because I was looking from a different perspective. So now I'm looking at it like I need to know this person as quick as possible. So I was very intuitive and learned how to learn them. So so if you a person that that's stubborn, you don't know nothing. You haven't picked up a book in years. You don't know nothing but what your mom and dad taught you. And you just walking around life every day, getting up, waking up, going to work, and you just living a horrible, terrible life. But you so stubborn that you don't want to learn nothing. And then when other people are learning, you bash what they learning. You know what that tells me? Not only are you ignorant, but you'll never change. Especially if it's been years and years and years. People gotta want to learn and change on their own. I understand that. But a stubborn person, they so stubborn they won't even listen to themselves. You so stubborn you ain't listening to yourself. I know you ain't listening to me. So I try to stay away from stubborn people because stubborn people can get annoying at sometimes. I mean, if I got to deal with them, I got to deal with them. But stubborn people, that ain't my favorite person because you closed minded. You closed mind, or them people that think they know it all but don't know nothing. And you see it, everyone around them see it. You think you know it all, but you don't know nothing, and you don't even want to learn. The people that don't want to learn, them type of people, man, get away from me. We don't know all that we need to know. If we knew that, we wouldn't be in none of the situations we in. You wouldn't be struggling going to paycheck if you knew everything. You wouldn't be in retarded ass relationships with retarded people if you knew everything. If you knew everything, you'd be aware of everything. I don't know everything, and I'm not claiming. Other people have claimed to say that I think I know everything. That's your opinion. That's your perception. Never did it come out my mouth that I said I know everything. Now I have said claims that we got this whole life that we living in. You ain't reading the book and trying to learn more than what you know now. That's inspiration to continue to learn, to grow. Because remember, your soul inside of your body, because you're the soul, you're not the body, you're the soul in the body. Your soul wants to expand and express itself, but you're not expanding and expressing yourself. You staying holding on to paradigms that are keeping you stagnant. So your soul and your mind are not even in sync. That's why you got all these problems. That's why you keep getting sick. Some of your sicknesses come from spiritual alignment issues. Dis-ease. That's a mind that is not at ease. Sicknesses started in the mind and it manifested to the flesh. You should know this. If you don't know this perfectly out, man, you missing out on the game. But yeah, man, like I can talk about this all day. I can talk about this for another 30 minutes if I want to, because it's really important that we understand these concepts. It's very important. We've been misinformed by school. We've been misinformed by the mosque. We've been misinformed by the church. They tried their best. But in this modern world that we living in, it's a lack of spirituality. It's a lack of morality. It's lacking. Everybody poised to be selfish. Everybody's poised to do their own thing, and they're not looking at themselves on a 360 scale to see if they're in the right, doing the right thing. Why do that? And all I want is money, 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 money. The more you focus on one thing and everything else starts to get shut down. We got to do better. And I'm going to end it with this. I'm laughing at this lady walking by here. Ooh, that's a nice car, too. Is that a Tesla? That's how the Teslas look? Yeah, I might give me a Tesla. I'm going to end it like this, y'all. If you want to change your life, you have to change your life. That's not a word play. That's not a play on words. If you want to change your life, you have to change your life. Take it one day at a time. Spend some time meditating. Listen to yourself. You got to go inside. Your outside world and the things that happen in your life, every little thing that happened in your life is based off your inside, how you are in the inside. You want to change your outside world, change your inside world. And it's going to take a while, but you got all the time in the world to fix it. Patience is the key. Peace.